What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal podcast. I realize when I throw that intro and I'm yelling into the mic, I have to like lower it down later on because I'm screaming because I'm so happy. Yeah, as usually, I always say that this is the best day of the week, but now we do it 2 times a week. So
I know, right? We get
Wednesdays
lucky.
are like, the day that we always done it for. I don't know how many months has been. Like I've been forced to talk to you once a hour, once a week.
Uh was it July 8th that we started?
You know how you remember that because we kept that
Yeah,
banner because
that banner.
neither one of us ever changed
Right.
that banner.
We don't care
Like,
yet.
from
We're not big time. We don't care. It's all good. Listen, I think July 8th, right? I feel like that's the time. So we got what? July, August, September, October, November. It's been 4 months, bro. 4 months in a week. So
it's been fun. It's been a fun time. And I want to say hi to everybody in the chat already. Appreciate you guys. It's always recorded. At this point, it's recorded with a live chat audience, if that makes any sense. I was saying
mhm.
studio, but not studio audience. I'm in the basement. You're in the house.
I'm in the
So
basement too. I'm
in
in
the
the
basement.
basement of the house. So
So I know you guys checked out the title. We're gonna be talking about relationships. We got, relationship expert over here to my right, Pedro. He's gonna let us know exactly how to
mm.
make
You see how Hannibal's setting me up for
set you right.
failure already, y'all? Like, all right, I like it.
Uh,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
we
Let's
got,
go.
the dating apps. And you know what? Anyone in the chat, if you're single, let us know. If because me and Paige are not single, so
Mm-mm.
be. I mean, I think we can still look at it from different angles, but let us know that you guys are single or not. I don't know if I think we have a few married people up in here too. So I think this situation can affect all of us in certain different ways, obviously. But we're gonna get into that. But first, I want to talk about something else that's probably more important than any of this stuff. Pedro, I hope you can allow me to talk about this because this is very important to me.
Let's go.
Can I do it? Okay.
Please, please. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay. So there's some rumors that's been going around that I said something on this podcast a couple of weeks ago, probably near the end of the summer, that I said this is all rumor. Who knows? It could be fake news. It could be those it's technology now. They can take my voice and
Mm,
put a different face on it and say
mm.
something totally that I wasn't even there when it happened. There's some rumors that I said the Brooklyn Nets were going to win a championship this year.
Oh, well, hold on.
So listen, it doesn't matter if I've said it or didn't say it. It's that's irrelevant, at least for me, because I don't like being wrong. But who knows who said what? Pedro,
I
what you
know.
doing?
I know. Hold on.
You,
Do you
what's
guys?
that? What's
Can you
that?
guys see that? Oh, there it is.
Yes,
Look,
yes, it says
Hannibal
Hannibal
says
wins
Nets win
championship.
championship
But I just
August
read that's
24th.
yeah. Well,
It's a written
yeah.
legal document, and it's a legal document. I'm gonna have it notarized. I'm gonna, so that's a legal
Yeah,
document. You can't go back now. Just hope that they
yeah.
go on a run. I'm sorry. It is what
Um.
it is.
Okay. Well, I don't see the run happening. The Nets are 6-9. Now that may seem like that's not a big deal. It is for the
It
people who
is.
are there. For Kevin Garnett, wow, Garnett. I guess yeah, bring him back. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons. It's not working. So I was listening to the sports radio, as most any if you're a fan of a team you hate, and you hate yourself, they listen to sports radio. They throw a whole bunch of different ideas. None of them are actually doing anything in terms of like running a team, but just throw some ideas out there. Whatever, it's talk radio. And at this point, I am going to admit this season is done. It's done. Now you may say that's too early. We got players who don't want to play for the team. Some players don't want to play at all. And now there's some issues with Ben Simmons. They think there's some criticism from the Nets organization about his commitment or blah blah blah. It's over. It's over. What we need to do is, as a Brooklyn Nets fan, born and raised in Brooklyn, I was listening to Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt album all day today. So I'm
Ooh,
all Brooklyn.
such a
So
great
good
album.
album, right?
Oh man, yeah. I think that was like the fifth album I bought or sixth. Some I bought.
It's
It's such a good album, man. God.
you can tell that Jay-Z took his influences from Illmatic. I mean, he actually sampled, Nas in the song, but
Yeah.
The dude knew how to. I mean, maybe yeah. I think he took a little of the style from Nas. If you listen to Jay-Z early in his career, he's spitting fast because his mentor is named Jazz O, and Jazz O.
Jazzo. Yeah.
But obviously that's the thing about Jay-Z. He's a businessman also. He's a billionaire. He knows what's working, what isn't. He's like, hey, that style is not working right now.
Hmm.
What's Nas doing, BIG. So and that's a flawless album. I mean,
It is.
someone like that album over Illmatic, I wouldn't even like be all that upset about it. It's that good. It's more of a preference, but the skills were there, the beats were there, the production. I mean, he had Notorious B.I.G. on the album. He had
Yeah.
Major. I don't know, like he had some heavy hitters, but that's not the point. Point is, I'm trying to say that I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, but this team ain't it. It's time to break it apart. Katie doesn't want to play anymore. You gotta trade him. Kyrie, I don't know if you can get anything for Kyrie because he's not signed for a long term deal. Get rid of Ben Simmons. I think
Ben
he's still.
Simmons is. I was watching the Kings game. I think the thing came up. It's still slightly early in the season, and I think he's averaging 6 points, 6 assists, and five. Like he's averaging a worse stat line than Draymond Green. Like he's like a
Yeah,
single triple. Like it's not good. He's not putting up
yeah.
points, man. It's bad.
It's over.
They
It's
got him
over.
playing center. They got him. They switched him. Ben Simmons is a center right now, off on the offensive sets. It's it's bad,
Yeah,
man. It's bad.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let's just forget about it. Now, where it's over. It's over. So get rid of everybody. Clean house. Get some draft picks. Whatever. Tank. 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 Because there's someone coming out
Ooh, my
that
boy Victor.
we
You
need
talking
in
about Victor?
Brooklyn.
Oh man,
Victor Wembanyama.
Women
Don't worry, guys.
Baye or something. Yeah, yeah.
Eventually we will able to pronounce his name correctly when we hear it obsessing when he drops 30 on his rookie season or some craziness.
Dude,
Because I mean I saw a few more games a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if they can be able to stop that unless he gets hurt, right?
he still looks good, and his frames to be his frame because he's skinny, but Durant was skinny too. So
Yeah. He's not that
um,
Chet Holmgren skinny. That
right,
skinny
right.
was like
That's
extra.
super skinny,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
he looks good. He's smooth. He's fluid. His jump shot looks
Mm.
effortless. He's big. He's going to shoot over anybody even more easily than KD. But even if you just say it's on the same level, nobody blocks KD's shot from the outside. So like he's going to be able to get any shot he wants.
Yeah.
With him defensively, is he going to be? He's going to be good. Is he going to be a rim protector? Is he going to be mostly on
I saw
where's
some
he going to
blocks.
play on the defensive end?
Yeah.
And what's his stamina? What's his health? But I saw a clip yesterday, I believe, or the day before. He doesn't dribble the ball at the free throw line, which is very uncommon. Most guys get to the free throw line, they dribble, take a couple dribble. His set is he sits there. He shoots without dribbling, which is just not a significant.
His rhythm is so in tune that he doesn't
It's
even
different.
need to.
Yeah, it's going to be impressive to see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope he doesn't go to a team that is just historically just trash. You know what I'm saying? I want him to go, but usually with the number one picks that happens. So let's see what like Orlando, for example. Orlando's got some young dudes, right? So like if he goes to a team like that, or let's say the Lakers, the Nets, a franchise that has money and has a couple pieces, tanks, and he goes to them because the lottery, it's all about the lottery balls. It doesn't mean worst record. The worse record you have, the more balls you have in a little thing, right?
Yeah.
So if he goes to somewhere where they've got a couple of other good players, he can make an impact right away. It's going to be interesting. So.
Yeah, so I see a few people in the chat. Dash Poppy says trade Katie to LA. John McCallion, welcome back. I haven't seen him in a while. He says he doesn't want him in the Lakers, but send him to the Clippers. I tell you, KD is still one of the best players in the NBA. He doesn't want to be in the Nets. They should just move him. I think Kyrie, he may just leave, right? Ben Simmons, trade him. What do you think about that? Do you think it's too early? I'm being a little bit too emotional because I can be a very emotional person. Or do you you agree with me? Let's not kid ourselves. The season's lost. Let's just start. We don't have a coach. We don't have a good coach. Players don't want to be here or they're distracted. The only thing that I like is the GM. I do like Sean Marks. He's been able to create a playoff team before this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was able to get Harden. I mean, mostly Harden. Harden was able to get Harden, but Harden was able to get himself moved, but he knows he finds players. And he puts so I like the GM. But also the only problem knock I have is I think he felt he was a little bit too weak in terms of pushing back against KD and Kyrie, but whatever. It was a unique situation. But that's it. Let's break this apart. It's over. What do you think?
Too early, I think. The record's not what you'd want it to be, but they have. So this is what's happened in the first. Steve Nash got fired or mutually let go, whatever, right? He got fired. Up to that point, they were the worst statistically, they were the worst team in the NBA on statistics metrics. Since he's been fired, they've actually been in the top like 3. I think after the Kings game, they went down, but defensively they've gotten a lot better. They had some lineup changes. They've gotten better defensively, which is important in the NBA, right? So I think it's still early. The basketball is a game of runs. If Brooklyn won, if these guys got hot, Kyrie comes back off suspension, whatever, they won 10 in a row. It's completely different, and that's not unlikely. I could see that happening. You win 10 in a row, even if you win 8 in a row, that puts you right back. It puts you right where you need to be, right? So I think you can't say too much or feel too bad until you get to about the All-Star break. As long as they're in contention with the expansion of the playoffs, they could be an 8 seed. The 1 seed could be the Cavaliers, and I could see the Brooklyn Nets beating the Cavaliers in the play. It's possible because of the star power that they have. So I think you can't break anything up yet. I think they're still learning how to play together. Simmons didn't play for a whole year, and then now he's playing center on some offensive sets. So give it a little bit of time. Do I think they're a championship caliber team at this point? Absolutely not. But it doesn't mean they can't get there in the next 4 months. So.
Pedro, is over. It's done. We've seen enough. I don't know what you're talking about,
Pedro.
You're trying. It sounds like it, but we're gonna be talking about relationships later on. It's time to break this up. I've seen enough. There's no leadership to this team at all. There isn't any. KD doesn't want to be there. Kyrie doesn't want to be there. I don't know. He wants to play basketball. Ben Simmons can't. He's a mute. It's over. It's just over. I just don't see.
He doesn't. Yeah, it's bad, man.
You told me this before. You said it was these 3 men are the best players on the team, and they all act like a bunch of cornballs, right? And Kyrie, I understand his social awareness and trying to fight back against the machine, but that's not. I'm talking about playing basketball at this point.
Well, yeah, we're talking about basketball. That affects what happens on the court because he's not been available because of that for the last 2 years. Whether it's the vaccine. So he hasn't been available, and I think KD's kind of like he doesn't want to throw his guys under the bus, but he's like, "Hey, I came here to win." And Harden's gone. We got this bum Ben Simmons. That's a bum right now. He's just shell of himself.
He's not, and it don't seem like. I mean, it may take a while for him to get back to at least some decent level of athleticism, but he just the drive. You could tell he doesn't want to be there. Like you could, and KD, he's still he's still doing what he has to do, but that's a waste of talent and time. He doesn't have a lot of time. Get him to somewhere else. He kind of let you guys know, in the summertime, and you can hold him hostage and but what are you going to build around this? It's over.
Yeah, listen, man. And the Lakers aren't looking much better. Like the Lakers have got a worse record. Like they look old.
Do they get that pick? If they tank, do they get that pick or they trade it away? I think they traded away. I think the Pelicans got their pick or something. You can check it out. Yeah. I don't think
Chat was talking about that. And listen, to this point, the Lakers still won that trade. I don't know what you guys are talking about. The Lakers won a championship. I don't care.
Won a championship
in the bubble.
Yeah, well, you get a championship.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they won. So until the Pelicans win a championship with whatever picks, the Lakers have definitely won whatever trade has been done to get Anthony Davis. And anybody that thinks differently, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But that's
Anthony was, and also he was going to leave anyway. So
exactly.
So it was. Yeah, so
the Pelicans look good right now. They got some picks, but you have to win a championship in order for that trade to be more beneficial for the Pelicans. Actually, they'd have to win 2 because the Lakers have already won 1. So let's be realistic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that the issue with AD is the guy can't stay healthy, but they was able to do it, and the championship's a championship. Even though I look at it, I mean, it is a unique situation. I think traveling and going away it is a important factor for playoff basketball, but that whole year was crazy. Nothing
It
was
was
normal.
weird. Yeah, it was weird.
And I
But
thought I
I
thought
mean,
Miami was kind of like a not lucky, but like they ain't coming back. Miami's a strong team,
Miami's
so
a strong
it
team.
kind of validated them being there in the first place. So
And
I
it
don't.
validates the Lakers. They beat a good team. Miami's still been good since then. So,
Yeah,
and
they
some
almost
would
made it to the
say
finals.
in the bubble thing, like there was no fans. It's hard to a lot
It's a
happened, and when
weird
you come
thing.
out of that and you're the team that wins, you clearly handled it best. So, if anything, people put an asterisk next to that. I think that's just as important as any championship. So I don't
Yeah,
understand the hate. It's because it's a LeBron. We all know that, but
yeah.
they
Yeah,
won,
and
so you
Jimmy
can't hate.
Butler, he was. I mean, he's shown. I mean, he was able to do that, and allegedly clap Rachel Nichols'
Rachel
cheeks
Nichols.
and still ball. I mean,
While making coffee for his teammates. Yeah,
pretty nice. I mean, nice on all those accounts. Listen. I'm a big Rachel Nichols fan. I just
Rachel.
want to throw that out there.
I, she's not in my out of the women that are on there. She's not,
Well, no, but
but
still,
Rachel Nichols, she probably's got a big booty. So
yeah,
I think we're on the same.
yeah. I've seen some photos. I mean, that's all those are very important when you're
When you're in the bubble.
when you're in the bubble. You can't go anywhere. Anyway, what was the point of that? Yeah, blow it up, Nets. Brooklyn Nets. They're not going to. So it's either do that or kind of stay in the focus, but then your two stars are going to leave, and you got one that can't play all that well anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's it's either I don't know. Maybe I'm going to the extremes, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we need to blow it up, but who knows? Who knows? So let's just jump into the relationship stuff right here. Let me know if you guys are single,
I know
married.
John said he's happily single in LA. But I didn't see anybody else's response. But if I was in
Okay,
LA, man, where John's at, shit, yeah, I probably want to be single. I mean, there's just
just
beaches
out
over
there.
there, and just like, yeah, that's my vibe over there. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not over there right now.
Well, it seems like regardless of where you are struggling in the dating field. Just looking at this article has been out for a while, but I want to talk about it with you.
Mm,
A decade of fruitless searching, the
mm,
toll of dating app burnout. 10 years after the launch of Tinder, some long-term online daters say endless swiping has been bad for their mental health. Not the
mm.
fact that they even found anyone and it was like a relationship didn't work out. It's bad for their mental health. Let's go
Yeah.
read a little bit that I'm sure. So yeah, they're talking to Abby, 28 years old. She's been on dating apps for 8 years. All of them. Okay, Cupid,
Wow,
Bumble,
that's
Tinder,
all. Wow,
eHarmony,
that's damn.
Match.
That's a lot.
eHarmony and Match. You have to pay to get just
Yeah.
to use it. I think. I never heard of Woo Plus, Coffee Meets Bagel, and Hinge. These are up. Didn't know.
2 or
I know
plus
the big
hours
three.
a day piling up matches. What? Wow.
That's a lot. That's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
That's a lot. That's a long time. And she talks about her some bad matches, some pressure to have sex. 30% of online daters say someone continued to contact them after they said they weren't interested,
I'm not
and
surprised by that. Yeah.
35% had received unwanted sexual explicit images or text,
Mm,
probably like dick pics, which is
yeah.
so stupid. She says, "I feel burnt out. Contemplate, it now. She's contemplating spending $4,500 to work with a matchmaker."
What the? Okay, hold on.
Listen, Pedro,
Listen,
We're in the wrong industry. Let's be matchmakers, right?
no, I would be horrible at that job. But listen, okay, this is my thing about these apps. I think men also struggle, but for different reasons. I had a really good conversation with a buddy of mine. I think he's 43 now. Good looking guy, works out, and he can't get a match. And there's other reasons for that possibly, but like men and women have different perspectives of these apps. And I think there's a lot of guys on these apps and a lot of women, but women are getting more messages probably because guys are just horny, and that's how the world works, right? So women are just inundated with this pictures, blowing up, where you at, 3 in the morning, like you want to hook up, like, and some women might do that as well, but it's mostly guys, right? Let's not kid ourselves here, right? But
Yeah.
I think for guys it's harder because the competition, like you can have 20 dudes going after one chick or swiping on the same girl. So she has 20 or 19 more options than the average dude, right?
Yeah.
But for this woman, it's like, okay, Is she having a bad experience? Is she too picky? Which I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's a, how does she look physically? Let's not kid ourselves. With these dating apps, the first thing every single human being that's on a dating app looks at is the picture. Am I
The,
attracted to that person? Is there
the name and
something
a
there?
picture. I think name it maybe an age, but that's about it.
Could be
That's
age as well. Yeah, right. But like you're
yeah,
looking at the picture. So for you seeing a picture and age, I think that goes hand in hand, right? But even for me, like if a woman's attractive and she's 50, that's not a deterrent for me, right? But if she's unattractive and 50, that's a deterrent, right? So
yeah.
I think that the apps have just numbed everybody. And Tinder specifically, I think that's what we're talking. It's just, it starts off as an app to hook up. So at least that's what it's known for on the streets. That's how
That's
I
why I
knew it.
always thought Tinder was more of the hookup. I mean, obviously, people are looking to link up for many reasons, but I always felt that they had that kind of connotation,
Right.
especially when it first came out. But a lot of people are just experiencing fatigue. They're saying that a lot of people, and this they survey about 500 people, which is decent, not a lot. They should have more than that. But 18 to 55-year-olds, they said that they experience emotional burnout or fatigue. 80%
Mm.
asked this. And then in 2016, Match did a survey with 5,000 people. Americans said half of them said they were burnt out with their dating life. So, Pedro, you've kind of suggested some of the reasons why it's possible. This is a very interesting, insightful comment by Dasha Poppy.
I,
Craigslist is the OG dating site. I don't think anyone
personal.
was
Yeah.
looking for dates or dating seriously on Craigslist. They were looking
No.
for
You're looking for
intimate
hookups.
encounters.
You're looking for hookups,
Yeah,
whatever. You're looking, yeah,
to
but
get killed. It's either you want to get killed or mess around
yeah,
with a
yeah.
man. Or one of those two. Just
Well, I think the OG was
um,
like, there used to be, people hooking up in like
mm.
parks and bathhouse. Like, there's a lot of old, trucker style. Like, there's a lot of other stuff we can go down, right?
Yeah.
But like with the
Shout out to
apps,
Gig
man,
Life.
it's
He
just.
said it was a murder site. It's like this is a murder site. I mean, it legit had like
I mean,
like
he's not
the
wrong though.
killer.
He's not
Yeah.
wrong. He's not wrong.
But I think for Tinder, because Tinder was like the first one to kind of the Facebook of online dating, fast,
Yeah.
easy. Like I think Match and eHarmony, but when you go to those websites, you have to fill out something. They're really trying, at least putting more effort to find a match compared to Tinder, where it's just a face and a picture, and maybe like I said, the age. Um, yeah, I think. Oh, okay. I got all right.
Did you
Dash
see
Theory
that?
just
Did
came
you
with
see
a
that? Did you
comment.
catch it? Did you catch
So
it?
I'm gonna say something that you guys may not know. I don't. You guys don't know because I never told you. So, shout out to Dash Theory TV for bringing this up. I shit you not, Pedro.
Mm.
I met my chick on Black Planet.
Whoa, hold up. I knew you and your girl had been together for a minute. Like I knew,
Way too long.
yeah, I know
I
that,
mean,
which is should be applauded. Number one, okay,
yeah,
that's so that says a lot about you and her. So,
yeah.
but I didn't know that. So
So
Dash Theories, listen, he knows. We got to have him on the show one day.
yeah. He's
Clear it
a
up.
listen. I think he's around my age. Super smart dude.
Yeah,
Funny as well. So yeah, this was before we uploaded pictures because I didn't have I had no fancy cameras. Like I may have. I don't think I had a picture on my
hold
profile.
on.
I
Black
think
Planet didn't have pictures.
you could yeah the upload. You know how easy it is now. You can take a picture and upload it. Before that, you had to like get a scanner to get a or like if you had a
Yeah,
Polaroid and you wanted
yeah.
you scan it on the scanner and then you upload it onto the internet. No one's gonna understand any of this unless you guys are around my age. But I just read her profile and then I had her screen name and I was chatting on her and then we made a I guess a date to meet up downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I missed it because I was also talking to someone else at the same time
Oh, you
and
whore.
me not I was such I yeah such a nerdy cornball dumbass. I'm thinking one of them was gonna cancel on me. I could choose between the two. And guess who I met with? Nobody. Because I clearly didn't know what the hell I was doing. I went over there because remember, no cell phones, no means of
Yeah,
communication.
yeah.
But then me and her made another date to meet at the museum, National Museum of History. And I guess you can say that's history
I
basically.
feel like it worked out pretty damn well. But do you guys remember? I've met a couple women on those phone lines. Does anybody remember the phone like where you could
My
actually
yeah.
call in and you could
Yeah.
scroll through the actual message somebody would leave, like an automated, like maybe it was 30 seconds, and then you could try to connect. I am that old to
We
where
are
there was,
dating
and
we are
you had
so
no idea
dating
what that looked like.
ourselves. We're so
But
just
listen, I ain't got no shame in my game. I've met a couple women. This is back in, let's see, this is 2000, like 2000, 2001, 2002, about that time frame. And yeah, I mean,
party lines.
party lines, whatever there, and there was a few of them, right? There were some that would be more like ethnic, black,
Yeah, yeah.
brown, right? And then there were the ones with white people, like, and I was in both. I didn't care. I was like,
Like, what's up?
yeah, yeah,
Free
yeah.
love
So
for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, equal opportunity employer. So I remember those. Those were crazy. I was never on Black Planet, but I remember being on those
There
phone
was a
lines.
one. It was a one for you guys, and Magente. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
I
it's
don't
called
know.
Magente. You never seen that one? It was
I-
basically they were just copying like okay people
yeah.
and it was interesting. Now it seems like
But don't you think
the,
that was better because you actually you had to actually talk to some. Now with these apps, you're swiping and maybe you're texting and maybe
yeah
it's still not as personal. At least then you heard a voice, you heard, and you can tell a lot
yeah
about a person's vibe that way. Now we've made things so easy, which can be good in some ways, but we lose the social connection. And I think that's where we're getting that fatigue because it's like you're rejected so much, right? You're
yeah
rejected so much, and it becomes you burnt out because nobody wants rejection like that. That wears on a person, whether you're a man or a woman.
yeah yeah. I think you had to put more effort to meet people because it wasn't so accessible. Shout out to Plenty of Fish. There was some real catfish on that site, I tell you. I guess I'll talk about that later or another time. But but anyway, it's yeah. I think it's more of that accessibility. We want things faster. We want things
Yep.
quicker. We want things cheaper, and it's hard to do all that at the same time. So, I think a lot of people didn't complain about Tinder when it first came out. I think, listen, these apps algorithms they made sure people met and connected. Like matches were happening, I think more. Then it seems like as these companies try to make profits, well, if they find you of the best match possible, why the hell would you go back on Tinder,
Mm. That's
right?
I hadn't really thought about
And
that.
there's pay options, right? Pay
Yeah, so
options
they
for
keep
all these
you.
apps.
They want to keep you in the game.
Yeah, unless you pay, then I guess if you pay, you should get a better experience. But I check on social media. I check on Reddit. People are paying and still not getting matches. And then it kind of comes down to yes, women do have. Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, just like any other situation in the club or at the bar, they're the selectors.
Yeah,
So they're
big
gonna
time.
take So are you saying that women should just pick whoever? No, but I do think this is an issue, and I think it happens for men and women. Our standards are not aligned with our own grade, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah,
we're over everyone's overshooting, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
When you're swiping and swiping and swiping, you get trying to look at the best of the best, and then like, you know, if you think you deserve a 10, and I think everyone thinks they deserve a 10, but if you're not a 10, then you're going to experience some frustration. And I think a lot of people go on there and they're shooting over there over what they think they can get. And that may
Yeah.
be a harsh way of saying it, but who knows? I mean, I think, and then also when you check on YouTube, there's a lot of like men having like a real problem with women, and it also vice versa. So everyone is like really upset with each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are our standards too high, too low? Like, what do you think?
I think when you are on these type of apps, your standards going to naturally go higher than maybe what you should normally expect because you're looking at pictures and you want, and you get,
Yep.
and a lot of guys we're just swiping on fucking everything, right?
Yeah.
Because we're like, it's like I'm gonna swipe on 100 and then hopefully I get a couple, and out of that five that might respond, maybe I get one day. Like that's just you're playing the numbers game at that point, right? When I think women are a little more selective and they're looking for what kind of pictures, what's his bio, they're gonna read a little more into it, they're gonna take a little more time, I think. Um, But I think, yeah, I think everybody wants a 10. Most people want to be attracted. I'll be guilty of that. I like to look. If I'm looking, I'm like, oh, she's pretty, she's cute, whatever. And then I'm gonna read the bio and dig a little deeper. And if I'm scrolling on some pictures and she got some questionable photos, I'm like, okay, there's a couple red flags there. Not worth it, regardless, right? But I think we naturally just go to we know we like what we like, and we're gonna shoot for the stars. I mean, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that necessarily, but I also think that a man with money or influence, okay, and sometimes when you have money, you also have influence. It's
Right.
way easier for them, and they might not even need a site because they could just pay a matchmaker or you know a man with money and influence rolls in certain circles. You're going to meet people naturally, right? But most men aren't in that 1%. Most men are guys like you and I. We're regular dudes, good guys, just want to make a connection, and maybe we
Yeah.
get lucky, maybe we
We're
don't.
just some medium ugly dudes just trying to
Trying.
make it work, you
I'm
know?
just a squirrel, man. I'm a squirrel trying to get you, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah. You should put that on your
and
bio. Oh, you're not single, but that would have been I'm just a squirrel.
well, technically for the IRS purposes I am, but I'm not. But yes, you're right. I mean, I just think that when you're a man with a lot of money or you're a woman that's very attractive, it's very easy for you. But
Yeah.
that's the 1%. Everybody else, we struggle. It's not easy to make a connection. And now everything's so nobody even wants to talk on the phone. There are some women you call them and they might like that. There are women that do
Yeah, there's a
like the
few that
direct
like,
phone
yeah,
call,
they like
but
it.
then there are some that are like, that's awkward, that's cringy. Just text me. So it's like, what's a guy supposed to do? Like, we
Yeah.
can't. There's a lot of games sometimes that are being played. So
It seems like our social skills have regressed
yeah,
to a point where, yeah, they're, and I still think women rather have someone call them on the phone. I still think, but out for the most part, I think sometimes when you are texting and the person that you're texting calls you and you're like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you should have just kept, like, I text you, not call. But I think for the most part, I think that's important, especially if you're trying to find a relationship.
yeah.
Good question from Kuala. Yeah. Besides looks, what are people really looking for in another person when dating? I don't know if people
Mm.
actually know what they want.
Not in the beginning, at
Some
least.
do,
No, not in
some
the
do, but
beginning.
I feel like it seems like what's your intentions are.
Mm.
There are many people who are probably looking just to mess around, and then you're connecting with people who are looking to try to have a relationship. That's not going to work. And I think that it kind of goes on both ways. Of some people looking for something serious, and you're like, I'm not really looking for that right now, compared to people who are just having some fun. And there are different types of sites that work with that.
Hmm.
But in terms of, I go back to, I said, rich guys or really attractive women, they have the struggle of, for a guy who is rich, um, are people like me for me,
Yeah.
or they just want my resources. Same thing for very attractive women. Yeah, this person actually likes me for who I am. And I think John had a really good comment about, or at least one about certain kind of pictures and your profile. If the profile is, and I'll say this, a woman that has a lot of revealing shots, got the poked out ass, turned around, looking back at you, look, I will take that as a sign that she's possible that she's probably looking for something casual
Yeah.
compared to
And
someone
she
just
might she might
regular
want
picture.
you to wine and dine her, want the fast life for a little while, have a little fun. Maybe she wants to go on a
Yeah.
weekend trip with you, but it might not be like she's looking for a love connection all the way.
Yeah. Or she puts on those eyelashes that look like brooms, like the broom brushes, like those
Oh,
big giant eyelashes. You see
I
that?
hate that. I
When you
hate. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you see that, you be like, oh, you must. First of all, you're going to a Chinese restaurant. Why you have that on your face? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you
Why did you have
going
to say
anywhere
Chinese
special?
restaurant?
Oh, just had some Chinese food. But you understand, like, it just seems to be a lot of people with different intentions, and they don't seem like they can connect with each other to figure out, okay, what exactly you're looking for. But then also, I've seen his own profiles. A woman will say, "Just tell me the truth," and then when you tell the truth, they didn't want that either. So it's like,
That's a dangerous question when they say that sometimes, but because I think women want. Man, it's tough because people are different, right? And the world is changing, and I think even women culturally and how they're dating is changing, and what they. I think it's shifted quite a bit. Let's just say in the last 20 years, since when I was really a young player in the game, it's changed quite a bit. Okay, so to be like 20s now or 25 dating, it's got to be tough, man. Now, it could be easy to just smash here and there and hook up casually. That's actually not that difficult. But like to actually make a connection and date is tough. But like I think when women are like, in my experience, just be honest, just be honest. That's not always true. Because if men were, and women, I'll get to women's, but if men were honest all the time with the women they were dating, or even your wife that you're married to, and she's like, "Hey, how's this look on me?" Like, listen, you gotta, as a man, you gotta be smart and know what battles to pick, and because you gotta know your woman. You gotta know your
Yeah.
woman too. When to be
You're
honest all the
giving out
way.
tips for like committed relationships. Like you've
Yeah.
already kind of picked this person to build with, so you gotta learn, like I said, pick
But
your
even in the
battles.
beginning, like if you're just
Yeah.
meeting somebody, you're on that first or second or third date. At that point, it's all still new. You haven't slept together yet. You're just dating, getting to know each other. It's coffee, it's dinner, and maybe you go to the movies. It's whatever, right? If she starts asking you like some deep questions and you're really 100% real with her in the beginning and you're all the way vulnerable, some women look at that as weakness. And most
Yeah.
women, in my opinion, don't want to be with a weak man. They want to be with a
Yeah.
confident, strong man.
Yeah.
So, you have to, it's difficult, man. To be
Yeah.
100% all the time, it's difficult. It
I
just is.
was this happened a while ago at a bar, drinking, hanging out, and was talking to the I forgot who she was, a nurse. Yeah, she was a nurse, and she was very. Some people you can meet in the bar, you drinking and hanging out, and you watch the game, and they will tell you their life story, like
Oh,
everything.
nurses are, listen.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
basically saying that she was not happy in a
Yeah.
relationship. She has got caught cheating, blah blah blah. They're
Mhm.
still together, whatever. Now they have an open thing, but she said that yeah, he kind of talks to me about his problems all the time, and she kind of she said it in a way that it sounds like she didn't like that
Bingo.
bothered her,
Yep.
and she was bored. She lives. They obviously they're probably doing pretty well for themselves. She's she's bored. She works. She has kids, and I guess she probably find her husband. She probably loves him to be
Mhm.
boring. And then I think that's what you're saying in terms of being either too vulnerable or seen like not saying weak, but
Too
it,
open. Women want that, but as soon as they get it from their
or
man.
maybe it's too much. It could be
If you
maybe
give too much, they'll lose a little bit of that from
I
you.
need
Like
yeah.
it's but nurses, shout out to the nurses out there. I've dated some nurses. Nurses know how to have a good time. If you're a nurse in the chat, no offense, I love you.
You're saving people's
Um,
lives. You're helping
Saving
people
people's
get better,
lives.
recover from
Nurses
in
know how
many
to have a
ways.
good time.
Shout out
Shout
to
out
the
to them.
nurses, teachers too. So Cliff Dog had a really, honest statement. He says, "I'm not gonna lie. I'm done with
Mm.
relationships. Let them know I just want to hook up, and that's it. Maybe one day I want to be with someone again, but I'm just trying to. You trying to fake
Listen,
and move on.
and some women will really respect that candid honesty, and some will be like, "Nope, he's a pig. I'm not interested." But some
Yeah,
will respect that, and they'll go along for the ride. So I think if you're honest in that way in the beginning, I think that's going to be really good. Versus playing the game and manipulating them, that's not cool. So I can respect that.
yeah. And I mean, I've been honest. Like I've in my past, being young, saying whatever it took to be to get where you need to be, and then you kind of realize how cringy and lame that is, especially as you get older. But some people, no matter
Mhm.
how old they get, they still do it. And I was like, how's that interesting or a good time that you gotta balance these bullshit lies that you have, like
Mhm.
especially when you're getting into your 30s or you're getting into your 40s, like is that you still doing that? Like you can't just tell this person, hey, either this is gonna go like this or I'm out and move
Yeah.
on. But some people never leave that I don't know, Papa was a Rolling Stone type kind of
Yeah.
like whatever he does, like at a certain age, you should kind of just be honest. Should be
Yeah.
easier. Like, hey,
Can you
this is
put
it.
Dash Theory's latest comment? I wanna read and speak to that for just like 1 minute because this is so many men don't have men to discuss their problems with. This is a big issue for a lot of men, and he's right on the money in my personal experience, but then also what you see in studies and various other people's men that have come out and talked about this. So we're talking about a man opening up a lot. I think we have to be open, right? But with women, when you do it too much, sometimes situationally, if you're too vulnerable, if you're coming home like the person Hannibal met at the bar talking, my
And she's a
husband's telling
nurse.
me,
She
my
working.
yeah, my husband's telling me everything and da da da. It's like some women do not want that, but as a man, we want the outlet, and we've been told for the last 30 years, women want a vulnerable, sensitive guy. Oh, he's sensitive. Fuck that. Most women don't want that. Okay, but to Dash Theory's point, many men don't have men to discuss their problems with. when a man can have a group of male friends that can share empathy, you can talk, you could crack jokes over some pool, some drinks, some darts, whatever. I have that, and I've had it for the last 5 years, and really, it's made my other relationships better because you could get together with somebody that understands you. You might have some similar issues or problems or relatability. Talk about it as men, because only men can relate to men, guys. And then you feel better, and you don't have to bring that shit home to your girl, your girlfriend, your wife. And you could, if she knows you, because you're assuming you picked the right partner, she can be like, hey, how was the night? Oh, it's good. And you don't have to share every detail about your deepest, darkest, whatever you got going on, because that might not be for your woman. That could be a detriment to the relationship. So the key is, obviously, you got to find a woman, but having some male friends around you that you could express those feelings with, that can understand it, it's a game changer. So I just wanted to touch on that because that hits home with me quite a bit. Um, so
No,
I
I
think
agree.
that theory's right on the money with that. So
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I had a conversation with my cousin about some of her dating issues, where she kept saying, "Oh, the guy I want to talk to, he needs to provide emotional support and emotional support." And she kept saying that phrase, and I kept saying, kind of replied back by saying, you're not dating unless you can't be dating a therapist, like your therapist. You have to find a therapist. When you're talking to your mate, they can't be a professional therapist. So if you're looking for some emotional support, or if you're looking for guidance, that you should take that with a professional therapist, because they are trained to help you. Compared to, yeah, obviously they're gonna have provide, being with your partner going to provide something. But if you're looking for someone to dump all of your problems at the end of the day, every single day, you're going to wear them out.
yeah,
Especially if you live more of a chaotic lifestyle compared to your mate, and every day you're coming in, dumping all of your problems onto this person. They have problems too. So it's like there's a balance there. And some people, I think, get a bit too much with, oh, this is my day. But like, wait a minute, how's the other person's doing? I mean,
yeah,
like, maybe
yeah,
if you discuss what's going on with them, maybe your problems may not be as big as you think, or I mean, like, you have more
yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
Um,
And I
yeah,
think we even sometimes with the apps, since we're talking about the apps that Tinder ruined, I think there are times where men and women dump that stuff right on the apps.
oh
Like look
yeah,
at a bio and it's like, I want this, I want, and they're like, they're oversharing and overcomplicating a situation where it's a dating app, right?
yeah,
But they're like, I want 5 kids, or I got, it's like a lot, for a man or a woman to take in, right? And you know, I was on Tinder. I think I was on Tinder. I was with, I was in a relationship, and we both got on Tinder to like just because, it's like it was like a funny kind of deal, right? And
yeah,
then that relationship ended, and I stayed on Tinder, but I never like hooked up from Tinder, or never got like any kind of relationship from it. But I remember using it for a couple of months, and definitely has an addictive quality because you're bored or whatever, you're just sitting on there, you're just scrolling. Every once in a while, I'd see somebody that I knew in real life, so that was always kind of
yeah,
like a fun thing. And then you're just scrolling, am I gonna see somebody else I know? So there's some addictive qualities to it, I think, as well. So I think it, in some regards, it's kind of ruined um, dating in the way that it's not as social as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like my best connections have always come meeting somebody out in the world through a friend or at a party
yeah,
or some kind of connection, or maybe somebody I used to work with, used to go to high school with. I've met women at the grocery store a couple of times. Like that's how I never did good on the dating apps because it's not personal. And I'm a guy that likes to, my best qualities are if I meet you in person versus some kind of picture or a bio. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It makes sense. I think that, um, I don't know. Hopefully, people are realizing that. But now, what happened? What happened in the last 2 years? Everyone's in the house more often, and things kind of go crazy where people are more comfortable being at home, and they think they can get a date, get a partner as fast. They can order something from Amazon. Going back to you
Mm,
saying the addictive quality of these
yeah,
apps, they were designed to be that way, right?
that's a good
Just
point.
simple left and right, getting that dopamine hit when you get a match. But then most of those matches they're not texting each other, or then there's no phone number exchange or no date. And I think a lot of people talking about their mental health they feel like this woman they were talking about talking to, she says she realized that she'd been feeling anger and resentment towards the happiness of others, and emotionally, mentally, and physically drained by the existing state of constant anticipation. And
Mm,
just imagine anticipating recently receiving something good for years.
yeah.
And that state of any day now. And that has to be a really frustrating and sad position to be, where you are
Mm,
putting, wrongfully so obviously, you're putting all of your faith and hope on algorithm from an app that's basically wants you there longer on the app. I'm
mm.
sure they're probably thinking, how do they keep people on the app longer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
you're right. You really opened. You really got me thinking here when you talked about you can simple order things from Amazon. It's easy, but there's a correlation there because we have become so used to getting things conveniently in a very quick way and an inexpensive way in some cases, right? So our mind might naturally go to, okay, well, it should be that easy on this app. It's an app. There's people, right? It's just like I can order DoorDash and I got a million restaurants. I see a million people. Why can't it be easy? Easy. We've made things so easy for ourselves that it's the frustration can set in quicker because we're not getting a result, right? But we get a result from everything else, the other algorithm we use, every other app that we use, you pretty much get a result pretty quickly, right? Now there are some apps we know they're out there. If you want to order a woman or a man online and have them come to your house, there are apps for that, right? It's going to cost you some money, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about dating. But I think we get so used to getting things quickly and it's like that every day in our lives. Think about it. You could order anything, you have it delivered. Most people start their day with a Starbucks or whatever, Dunkin' Donuts coffee, this or that. You go to work, you got your laptop, everything's so quick, right? You want to stream a show, boom, you can binge watch anything you want. The new movie came out. Oh, maybe it's on Amazon. I'll watch it tonight. I don't even have to go to the movies anymore. Everything's fast, 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 fast. So now with dating, it's almost like we've gone backwards with it because so many people now are on their phones than ever
Yep.
before. So now there's more people wanting a quick fix on a dating app, but it's not there like it is in a lot of other ways in our life.
Yeah, perfectly said. I think that's what I think we become a little bit too impatient. Pierre just came in hot. Men just want sex, and came in already annoyed. Fair enough. Just like
Listen, that there's a lot of truth there. I don't think that's all, but I think that's a large percentage that when men go to these apps, I think women want attention. They want some
yeah,
love.
I
Some want
believe
sex,
that
but
there's
men want
yeah.
sex and they want immediate result. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are women who probably are on that app with no intentions of actually meeting anyone, but she's either bored or she's looking for some, someone to say she looks pretty. Just give her a little, like when they, like, as anyone likes to post selfies. I remember I used to post embarrassment amount of selfies when I was in my 20s. It was, I don't know what I was. I guess I
Did
was
you
just
ever
looking.
did you ever post a shirtless selfie in a mirror
No,
and send it to somebody?
no. Wait, you mean on social media or to
And
someone directly?
I guess no. I guess so. We'll stick it to social media. Yeah.
No, but send
Me neither. I've never
a
done that.
picture of myself to a person. Yes,
Yeah, we've all
yes,
done that. We've all
yeah,
sent those kind of pictures. Yeah, yeah. But I never
yeah.
the. I always thought it was weird. You'd see certain profiles of men, and if you're a man in this chat that sent this picture, I'm talking to you. Okay, so it's okay. Well, we can still be friends. I always thought it was weird when a dude would like take a pic, no shirt, and the old school cameras or the phone or
Yeah,
whatever, and like
yeah,
it's the mirror shot, no shirt, and they're like looking like flexing the little muscles that
yeah.
they got. And then that was their Tinder or that was their dating profile. Like, you
Bad
think that
move.
shit works? I mean, it
No,
can't
and
work. There's no way.
they don't like that. I mean,
That's crazy to me.
not at all. It never ever works. I mean, maybe it does, but I know talking a lot, they don't like. It's not the same compared to men who don't want things very, very. Um, we I think we're visual. Visual. We like to see stuff, and
Visual,
I
yes.
think again, at least for me, growing, at least getting older, you kind of realize that if a woman, that's all she's showing, that's where it's going to be in terms of like, are you going to look at this person's like, well, should I pursue something more serious? But look at what she's posting,
Hmm.
probably showing you that's probably not a good idea, right? Um, Also, I think Bobby had a comment earlier. Forgot to scroll up for it. That is that a red flag if someone is on that app for that long and haven't found a relationship? Like, is
Mm.
that, you think that's a negative thing? So you've been
Mm.
here for 8 years, and I mean, hopefully she had some
Oh
relationships.
yeah. If I see it, okay. If I see it, if 8 years, I'll just use that, which is a long time. But I was
Hopefully
to
she
say
has some relationships.
anything over 5 years. If you've been on the app, but if you've been on the app that long, if there's a way to know that, something ain't right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. That's not a dig, but that's a long time. Now you could have, you know, five. I'm talking like 5 years active, like just straight 5 years. Like you can't make it. Something's going on there to where maybe you got to take some of that time that you're spending on the app and focus on yourself first. I think a lot of people get on these apps, and I had a really good conversation with a really good friend of mine, and he was even saying, "Yeah, I'm not getting dates, I'm not doing this. It's like I meet women, but it's not easy." And he even said, maybe I should just like take 6 months off and just focus on a few things for myself, and maybe I'll be in a different headspace, be able to receive things better, And I think that's can go either way for men or women. But if somebody's on an apps that long, either they're just a freak, which is fine. They just hooking up, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. Or
Yeah.
they've got they got other things they need to work on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
good. And I agree. I think it's what kind of person you're trying to attract or attracting, or that you find attracting, and how well those relationships have been going. You may have to call an audible and change the play. You may
Mm.
have to change the way you do things. Dash Dairy with another comment. Lots of men want high maintenance looking women without the high maintenance.
Hold up, high maintenance looking. Oh, they want like a model or a 10 Instagram girl, but
and
without
and,
the
and
high
that's the thing
maintenance.
too.
Mm.
At least in my opinion, you gotta be honest with yourself, fellas. You want a 10. You're looking for Rihanna, right? Do you deserve Rihanna? Like, be honest. Like if you consider yourself a 10, then if Rihanna's a 10, you think you can get Rihanna?
Well, you're
No.
talking just physical, though. You're talking just physical, you right?
Well,
You
yeah, physical,
just
or
from the
if so,
beginning.
like if you don't have your stuff together, right, professionally,
Yeah,
that's gonna give you some issues, right? Because nowadays women are just as successful, or at this point more so,
more.
than
And
men.
as far as employment goes, statistics say they're more successful. Yeah.
You've hired people in the past. I have. My best friend employees were women. Like it is what it is. Like it could maybe it's different for you, but if my most reliable people was for not
Yeah,
for the most
in
part were
in the
women.
restaurant business, like, yeah, it was yeah. I would say if I had to have my top 10 of employees or managers, I'd say probably 7 of them would be women. Yeah, so
That's a good percentage, right?
yeah,
And then
I think
always
you're
you
right.
always had, and then the dumbest employee you ever had was probably a dude, like
Oh,
some
yeah, I would
dummy,
yeah,
like what
yeah,
were you doing?
yeah,
So you have to come in a little stronger now. Competition is higher, like you're saying. A lot of women are, or a lot of men are competing for women. So if you don't have your stuff together, and it's going to be more difficult now than it was back in the day when none of this stuff was available, and women just had to just go outside and kind of like, I guess this is
yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like what's in their immediate space. But the problem is, it's difficult for everybody because we
yeah,
all are. When looking at the numbers, none of us are happy. We're
yeah,
all pretty upset, and we're all looking and looking, and so no, we got. I think going back to what you're saying, bring it back, right? Like bring it back to meeting people in public. Having conversations, spending more time to know the person rather than just a simple left or right swipe.
yeah,
I think that's how it should go.
and I think for men on these apps, I'm gonna give you all a little advice, all right? The things that have worked for me, okay? Most women don't like to be like annoyed. They don't like a guy that's constantly coming at them, right? Constantly annoying, or you send them a message, they don't reply. Let's say in your time frame, let's say it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, or it's one day, and you're like, "What's going on? You didn't reply to my text." Like the constant things that guys do to annoy women, that puts you in they don't like that. They just most women do not like that annoying, desperate, needy man. I'm telling you, they don't. Okay. So the guys that usually are going to do well on these apps, regardless of looks, because I think also most women, they don't look at looks as much as us guys do. They just don't, right? Women just match differently. A guy that can be a little more chill, right? Like not seen as desperate, not trying to always chase and be like annoying or whatever. Like, if she don't reply, give her some time. You know what I'm saying? Or if she might not be interested, she might not be into you. She might not be interested, right? Or if she's texting you and you're like, oh man, and you automatically like you immediately text back or like right within like a
Thirsty.
minute. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's like, you
They
have to
don't like
you
that
have to
either.
you got to play it cool. Like you have to understand that you are good enough alone. And women see that if you're a confident dude and you don't need somebody, you don't need her to make you whole. That's an attractive trait for a lot of women. So these guys on these apps, you got to play a little more cool. Don't be as like needy and aggressive and like, bam, bam, bam. Like you got to like chill a little bit. And usually in the long run, that's going to help you out, I think.
There's some really interesting comments going through here. Hopefully that's not true, Nicholas. But if it is, I mean, hopefully, you listen to what Pedro was saying. This girl DM'd me first. I told her I liked her bangs, got ghosted, so I deleted forever, and I live under a rock now.
That's
Hopefully
early.
you don't. And realize that ghosting is a thing. It's happening. And I think it always happened.
Well,
It's
but
just
you got to
a
understand.
term that's called ghosting.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to
usually you.
understand, Nicholas. You're not the only dude that she might have reached out to. She might have got somebody better. She might have had a better interest. Like you can't. It's not about she ghosted you. Like some women just, we've all done it. Men have done it. There's been, what I'm
Yeah,
saying. So like, I think it's like we take things too personal for people, and we don't even know. You got to remember this, guys and
there's a lot of
girls.
stuff going on that you don't
We
know.
don't know these people. They're a picture on a pixelated screen. Like it, we don't know them, and we're assuming or we expect them to give us what we want, and we don't know them yet. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot of other people that are
Good
wanting
point.
the same thing out of them. So you
Yeah.
can't. The level of expectation, like Hannibal was saying, is whether it's with looks or the amount of what we seek immediate gratification immediately is the bar's too high. We set it up for too high for ourselves in the beginning
Yeah,
without even knowing these people. So
definitely. I think that should be a conversation to anyone who is going into dating online. Lower your expectations down significantly because then you won't be so disappointed. At this point, it's like gambling because I still believe it. I think it's more of the apps messing up things with the algorithm to keep people to stay on that app longer, especially for men to, hey, listen, you have all these matches. Can you see them? No, go fuck yourself. You gotta
oh
pay us a
yeah,
monthly
you gotta
fee to
pay.
see
Yeah,
these
it's
matches.
crazy. It's
You don't even
crazy.
know what these people look like, and you pay for matches, and everyone looks like I'm not gonna say any kind of I'm not gonna go into
The women
what
look
they
like
were.
me. They got beards and like what I'm saying. Like you don't even know.
You're like, I
And
paid a monthly fee for this. None of these oh, and then you stuck with the whole month. And
yeah,
so I think we gotta all lower that expectation, but also lower our, this is a weird thing, our standards, not even standards. I think the standards are obviously something is wrong. Stop trying to find like these IG baddies that,
yeah,
most of them are not happy people. They're not
yeah,
happy people because a lot of them has only been looked at for their looks. I'm sure they're sitting there like, wow, I have a personality. I'm intelligent, but men are not looking for, obviously with the pictures that they're posting.
yeah.
So yeah, you got, I
We
think
all, I
we all
mean, we
got to
all like
lower it
what
a
we
little bit.
like. I have a type, I guess, and maybe Hannibal. We know he likes girls with big booties. Like we all have what we like,
Rachel
and there's nothing
Nichols
wrong
type
with
of,
that.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to lower it, but like you have to also realize like the more that you open up yourself to meeting and just going on a date for coffee or whatever, and you might make a nice personal connection with somebody that maybe you're not immediately attracted. Maybe they're not a 10, but they're a 6 to you or a
Give it some
7 or
time.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
that person could be the person that really does a lot of other things really well for you and connects with you, right? So it can't always just be about looks. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it just can't. I mean, some of the best relationships I've had are women that I'm attracted to because you got to have that. Okay, you got to have that. You got to have sex. That's all normal. Okay, you got to have a healthy relationship. But like the best relationships are the ones that I've had where it's like, okay, like it's not all about the looks. Like there's more of a person there. You know what I'm saying? Like because the looks will fade, but like the heart, the mind, like what they do for you, how they care for you, that won't go away. So if you just want to go out there, like some of the people were saying earlier, and just trying to have some quick fixes, ain't nothing wrong with it. That won't last forever. So you got to sometimes be realistic a little bit.
Yeah, like you want to have a sweet balance of that. Obviously you find somebody super attractive and you have, the emotions are going, the chemicals in the brain firing, but also like a little bit of a logical kind of view on, your what you're looking for and your rank and everything. I don't know if you ever watched this show on Netflix. I think it's called Indian Matchmaker.
No, I've
Um,
seen my girl watches all those smut TV shows, but I don't think
yeah,
I've seen the Indian one. But
but it's basically some very, it's based in Indian culture. There's a really successful matchmaker with, they're probably paying them a lot of money, and everyone is successful. Everyone went from like the best colleges to either a doctor, they're either some kind of engineer, all very well-to-do people looking for a match. But the way they do it, it seems like it's kind of very logical, like in straight up colorist. They're saying, hey, listen, I want a
yeah,
woman fair skinned, and then like put that on the screen, like fair skin, like, all right, I guess that's how we're gonna go watch Bachelor and have a guy say, I want a fair skinned woman. Let's see what
oh,
the kind of response.
that
But
ain't gonna happen.
the Indians, they very, very honest and brutal with it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like they have some elements where they have arranged marriages, at least they have a culture, but they're not trying to do that here. But they're saying, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you want to make sure this woman is smart, you make sure this man is smart. Very logical. I feel like too much to extreme. Like it should still have an ability to be attracted to a person and have a connection that kind of comes organic. But nowadays, people are like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay this person, and they're gonna bring me." And they have some qualifications. Like, "Hey, listen, this person needs to be graduate from a great school, and make this much money, and have this interest." And again, like I said, algorithm, make it fast and bring it to me in 2 business days or less. And that, I don't think that's how attraction works. It's a very interesting show. Yeah, it's a little trashy.
I've seen like the Love on the Spectrum. Have you ever heard of that one? That's an interesting
I've
kind
heard
of
that one
fun.
too.
Yeah.
Love was that blind love
Love
or
is
something like that.
Blind.
They talk to each other before they see each other.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel called Cut. Maybe we'll watch it next week, where they sit in front of a table, they have a buzzer in the middle, and either one could press it when they realize that they don't like this date.
I've seen, and then they bring somebody else. Like I've seen that. I think I've seen
I guess
some
it's
clips
speed
of that.
dating, if that's called.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of that. It's interesting. I will say this to kind of go off what you were saying about like the Indian show and whatever. Like
Yeah.
I do think there's something to be said for relationships that are, for lack of a better term, very business-like. Like the roles are kind of defined and it's business-like. It's a respect thing, but like each person kind of has defined roles. I think there's something to be said for that. Now you have to make sure it's a match, right? Each person, each party needs to be able to be willing to do those business type things, right? I'm going to do this and she's going to do that, and it works. Like I've known some people that have been married a long time and they have a very business type. They look at it like, we're going to run this marriage like a business, and we're both going to be profitable. We're both going to fill ourselves up, and there's something to be said for that. And I think sometimes we've become so emotional and in tune with our feelings, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's not a positive, but sometimes when we do too much of that, we lose the sense of reality and like, okay, I want to, the compromise and business like, and, working off each other's strengths and weaknesses. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's something to be said for having a relationship with somebody that's like, okay, well, I want this, and this. Okay. You want this, and this. All right. I can do that. And then boom. And then you go. You know what I'm saying? I think there's something to be said for that.
It's honesty, and it's like I said, it's expectations. I mean, when Skip, again, I don't know if I guess it actually happened. Skip told his, I guess, potential wife now, that you would always be second to my career. Brutal.
Yeah.
But she was cool with it. I mean, obviously they have a great relationship. I mean, at least it seems like it does. So, it's an interesting show. I think the first, I'll be honest, I think you should watch a few episodes just to see, like, they don't play around. I see Dasher Theory says arranged marriages are making comeback. Arranged marriages have a better marriage rate or less divorce rate than actual divorce.
It's not even close. Yeah. It's not even close.
And you could look at also there's way more marriages that's not arranged compared, but the ones who are, they seem they able to work it out, because I guess in that way that isn't forced to, but they together and the love comes after. So they kind of came in a more logical point, but then they realized, okay, we got to make this work. And then you realize, oh, this is actually a decent person. Then those kind of feelings blossom to a point where they'll never leave each other.
Yeah.
They're good forever, compared to us, where And especially now, like I said, the apps they're not working, but in our heads, I think we think they're working. So he's like, "Oh, they talk to you. I'll just swipe and find someone else the next week." And you
Mm-hmm.
realize,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's why you're still dealing with your burnout. Like, why are you burning out? That means you're waiting for something special to happen faster than
Yeah.
how it used to be back in the day. So
Yeah.
we should bring back party lines. We should bring back Black Planet. We don't have to worry about the race ones, but bring back where you can't see the
Can you
photo.
imagine having a black planet, a
Is
white
there a black?
planet?
Wait, let me look at. Is there a Black
I
Planet?
bet. I
Do they
bet
have one for all?
there has to be a dating app for just. There is. It's
Yeah.
out there. I
There's
know. I
one.
know there is.
There's oh yeah. Well, it's there. It says sign up. I'm sure it's still there. But they have ones for interracial dating. Like
Yeah,
if that's
sure.
exactly
Yeah.
one you
They got the
want.
Cowboys one, the dating for cowboys or whatever. Like there's an app where like women can go on and get a cowboy. Like that. There's apps for everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Interesting. Yeah. I'm trying to figure
it is.
like Christian Mingle. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
things for certain John says farmers only. Is that what you're talking about? Farmers
That's
only?
yes. Farmers only cowboys. Farmers only. Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Cowboys, they'll be called shit. I was gonna throw a joke out there, but I don't want to throw it. Heath Ledger movie. I forgot the name of it. Anyway.
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. Have you seen that movie? I haven't.
No.
Okay, yeah, I haven't watched it. Okay,
Yeah, it's kind of like which is silly. You know, I'm 13 years old. I was like, that's a movie I have to really tough it out to watch. It's not for me. And reason, also like there was a movie that came out a couple of weeks ago. I forgot. I think it was called Bros.
Yes,
And
actually, me and my girl were gonna watch it as a streaming, but it costs money. We are like, nah, I'm not paying for that. But we were gonna watch it. That one actually.
the movie was a love. It was sitcom, romantic comedy, but it was of two gay dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It bombs at the box office. Bombs. No one went to watch it, and the creator and the lead star basically said the reason why I failed because of homophobic, too much homophobes around. And I thought it was that's just a sad thing to say when, well, most gay people didn't go to see it.
Yeah, if the movie's good, it would have done really, really, really well. So it might have just been a bad movie. Yeah,
it may have been a bad movie. It's not necessarily like there's a lot of gay people, they didn't watch it. So similar to like, well, someone says, WMA is failing. It's men's fault, whatever. But then like Bill Burr was like, well, women don't watch the WMA either. So like you can't use that excuse. Like you have to look inside yourself. Like maybe the movie wasn't good. Like the guy that was a lead, I never heard of him, and the things I've seen wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
On YouTube. So it's.
I mean, Brokeback Mountain was obviously not like a comedy, but I think that movie won Best Picture or something. It won multiple
nominated.
awards.
Yeah, I mean, he had two good actors. Yeah, Heath Ledger.
But it had
Heath Ledger
good actors. So.
Yeah, so like it don't matter. Like good content's gonna come through. I mean, the Birdcage, like I could watch that. It had one gay couple. Modern Family had a gay couple. Like good content. It doesn't matter. At least you can still relate to what they are going through because there are just two people. But when you're two, and I some of the criticism from that movie was they were a little bit too preachy. It's a comedy. Kind of comedy, like preach, make me laugh. Be trying to teach me something. We're already here. We watched a movie, you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that went down. But it is what it is. But this podcast flew by very quickly. I didn't even get to talk about the other topic I wanted to. Maybe we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
Men is reporting like men are afraid to interact with women. What's going on with that? I mean, I think we all know why, but if we're trying to get everyone to get back together and hang out, and men are afraid to even approach, and they think the app is going to work, and the app is not working, what are they going to do?
Listen, guys, you got to be willing to take an L. Like there's not, it's like a sales job. Like you got to knock on doors. The successful salesman knock on doors. If you want to be broke, you don't knock on the door. If you see somebody that strikes your fancy, strike up a combo. Ask them for coffee. If they say no, hey, sorry to bother you.
Don't
take it personal. They might be married. They might not be interested. They might come, but you don't stop.
You may have something in your teeth you didn't know. You check it hours later when you get home. You're like, oh, that's why it didn't work.
Or if you can't, then you just go to a strip club and throw a couple dollars and
they'll band. But then you go broke.
Bands
I've been there twice, and my experience coming out, like I can see why people throw all their money away.
Hannibal went twice last week, guys. He went twice last week.
Not
He's
yet.
talking about last Friday, last Saturday.
Get these subs up so I can make some money where I can do that, right? But yeah, man. Another great one, Pedro. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah.
I know we got some NFL games coming up. My relationship with the Brooklyn Nets is as follows: get rid of everybody. This is not working. We've been through this relationship. We've been through this already. The woman has cheated. The guy has cheated. Whatever. It's time to move on. I want Kevin Durant to at least have one more shot at a championship with a good team. This ain't it.
It ain't gonna be with Brooklyn. Hey, at least
Kyrie,
you got your Giants. You got your Giants. So
got the Giants, Jets for some reason. I don't know what. This is one backwards ass season. Utah Jazz is good, even though they lost 3 in a row. But like, what's going on? I don't understand it. Do you understand it?
I have
the
no
NFL's
idea.
a little weird.
If I understood it, I'd be making bets and winning. I enjoy it because it's entertainment for me. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be 4 teams or so that it's gonna be about the same 4 that has been the last couple of years. The Buccaneers are gonna be there.
You think the Bills are gonna still be there?
The Bills, the 49ers, the Chiefs.
Now,
it's gonna be yep.
There's something off with the Bills, how they just keep losing close games. You haven't noticed that pattern?
I do, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be in the playoffs.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it just seems like every close game.
Josh Allen doesn't perform well consistently when the game's on the line. He throws a lot of red zone interceptions or fumbles, and that's been his thing, right?
Yeah.
But they're still going to be in the running, and the Buccaneers are going to win their division. They're going to get a home game. Tom Brady's only going to have to go through maybe Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, maybe, and Daniel Jones, and maybe Jalen Phillips. So
I like how you said Daniel Jones as if he's the worst. How dare you? Let me check the record of the Giants because I think they won last week.
We're not talking records. We're talking quarterback play. All right, we're talking quarterback play.
Well, listen. Our dude Danny Dimes is winning. And yes, we have the best running back in NFL. Shout out to Levi. He said it in the beginning of the season. He said we have I looked at him. I'm like, really? He is the best running back of the league.
Good. He's looking good.
Pierre, just like our boy Nova Dasher, is a hater. Says the Giants suck. They don't. Hector, very intelligent man. G-Men 7-2. So we have some geniuses in here. I think we'll see. We'll see. And the big game,
the Jets are the Jets. If you think the Jets are going to do anything in the playoffs, you are mistaken, my friend.
They got good
Zach
defense.
Wilson as a quarterback. Nah.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. But you know what?
Sorry,
he's
guys.
a G. He should come on and ask and like break us down how he able to get some women. Because
he was smashing his best friend's mom or something. And he had a dime.
He's a good looking guy though.
So,
that's an annoying thing. And even men realize when you see a guy that's like really good looking.
Yeah,
you're like, damn, his life is easier, right?
And he's a quarterback, and
he's a quarterback. And I think they have done studies of good looking, like in terms of a certain height, a certain look for quarterbacks, except Daniel Jones or Eli. I don't know how they got to be quarterbacks.
It's your Giants quarterbacks, and
they don't look like. Would Daniel Jones take your girl? Like maybe because he has some. He's a quarterback. But Zach Wilson, like, this guy's
I don't even think Zach Wilson ain't taking my girl. There's a couple dudes that would take my girl. It'd probably be like Jalen Hurts.
Jimmy G.
Jalen Hurts is a good looking guy.
I think Jimmy G is.
Jimmy G. Yeah, Jimmy G's taking my chick all day.
Yeah, they had a little clip of him. I think it was at the basketball game. All the girls made sure they like dapped him up. Even though like his tight end is next to him and he's like he's sitting there trying to get some, but everyone made sure they said hi to Jimmy G.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jimmy G. Yeah, probably Tom Brady. Tom Brady's he's older, but he's pretty.
He's back on the market now, so ladies needed to say what's up.
We'll see about that.
You think he'll come back?
I think I don't know what's going on there. Who knows? It could be for. It's like a soap. Tom Brady's like a soap opera, man. He's weird.
That is true. So on that note, guys, thank you for staying up with us one more time. If you like this content, please subscribe. Subscribe. We have all the podcasts. If you platforms, Spotify, Apple, whatever. We're on
Check them out.
Last episode on Monday, I didn't realize it wasn't posted because I played the David Chappelle stuff, and they blocked. They
Oh,
didn't
did
even.
they really?
They
Oh,
like
wow.
block. I never even seen it before. Usually you'll think, oh, it's a copyright.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, we're not making it. They NBC don't play
Well,
around.
it's
Don't play.
SNL. It's Saturday Night Live. That's why. Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
guys, and if you guys doing content on YouTube, do not put unedited ABC stuff. They will just block your
It's
stuff. Like
out
they
now,
ain't
though, right?
playing.
It's
Huh?
out now. It's out. In the
I had to
RS.
trim that out.
Oh man, damn. And that was.
But
It is what it is. We do
but
it live, so
if
it's okay.
if you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or what, it's still there.
There
So
we
that's
go.
another. So you get a little bit more than what YouTube likes to throw out because YouTube is
Yeah.
not playing around. So
YouTube don't play no
that was,
game.
that was a good episode either way. But thank you guys for coming through, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
See you.
Peace.